the nights feel longer than usual. Noah lived alone in the house his grandfather left behind. The house was quiet, not a comfortable quiet, but the kind that makes you aware of every small sound, even your own breathing. The walls were covered with large mirrors, framed in dark carved wood. During the day, they reflected sunlight, dust in the air, and a man moving slowly from room to room. But at night, the reflections felt closer. It was a cold, rainy evening. Rain touched the windows gently again and again. Noah sat in the living room, a book resting open in his hands. He hadn't been sleeping well. For weeks, sleep came in pieces, and his thoughts never really stopped. Then, he noticed something, a small movement in the mirror across the room. He didn't panic. He simply lifted his head. Maybe it was nothing. He stood and walked toward the mirror, each step unhurried, but heavier than the last. He looked at himself. His face was pale, dark circles under his eyes. A man clearly tired. He raised his hand. The reflection followed, but just a moment too late. Noah blinked. That didn't make sense. He moved his hand again, this time slower. The reflection copied him perfectly. He stepped closer. His fingers touched the cold glass, and then the reflection smiled. Not wide, not dramatic, just different, too calm, too aware. Noah wasn't smiling, but the man in the mirror was. A strange feeling spread through his chest. Not a pull, not something physical, just the quiet fear of losing control without moving at all. The room felt smaller, the air thinner. His breathing grew faster. The smile in the mirror stayed, unmoving, watching. Then 2 days later, the neighbors called the police. They had heard shouting and something breaking again and again. When the door was forced open, the house was still. Mirrors shattered across the floor, glass everywhere, and in the middle of it, Noah. His hands were bleeding, not only from the glass, but from deep scratches made by his own nails. There was no ghost, no presence inside the mirror, only a mind exhausted by isolation, by sleepless nights, by thoughts that echoed too loudly in empty rooms. Later diagnosed him with paranoid schizophrenia. The delayed reflection, a trick of perception. The smile, his own face, during a panic attack, unfamiliar in that fragile moment. The broken mirrors, his desperate attempt to escape what he believed was someone else. But it was always him. Now, Noah sits in a quiet hospital room. White walls, no mirrors, no glass. Nothing that reflects too clearly. He avoids shiny surfaces, turns away from windows at night. One afternoon, a doctor saw him staring at the dark screen of a turned-off television. His lips moved slowly, almost gently. Tell him to stop, he's still there. He's waiting for me to close my eyes so he can take my place. The old house was never haunted. The mirrors were never alive. The real battle was happening quietly inside Noah's mind. And sometimes that kind of horror is the hardest to escape.